Look like Caitlin Clark has told the shocking truth about her 2025 injuries. Now, when it comes to Caitlin Clark injuries, bro, we know that was a topic of discussion here on my channel and around the sports world. It was looking like, from the outside looking in, that the Indiana Fever was doing a poor job in making sure Caitlin Clark returned to the basketball court. We've seen Scott Atkins get into some hot water over an alleged ankle injury.
Caitlin Clark just broke her silence in a Kelce interview, and she did not dodge the big topics. On New Heights with Jason and Travis Kelce, the Indiana Fever star finally talked about what fans keep asking for: her signature shoe, the injury year, Team USA, and why her next chapter feels different.
Hey, Caitlin Clark, closing out the year on the New Heights podcast with Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce, gives us some insight, some information on what the holdup could have been for Caitlin Clark's signature shoe to come out. She's talking about a specific new technology that they are implementing in the shoe, the first to be done in a basketball shoe. She also talked about some things that she's looking forward to as far as collaborations go.
This was not a fluffy podcast stop. Caitlin gave real answers, but she also left a few open loops on purpose, especially about what is inside her shoe. So let's walk through what she revealed and why it matters.
Also, we have somebody known to probably everybody in the country at this point. Caitlin Clark is here, making her second appearance on the podcast.
New Heights introduces her like it is a main event, and Caitlin matches the energy. They bring up the Nike ad first.
Let's get back to Nike though. I gotta ask some questions because I'm such a huge sneaker fan. You said that you're wearing the new kicks coming up this season.
Yeah.
I honestly, for everyone that doesn't know like the process that goes into like making the sneakers, like how long in advance has it been, or like when does it all start? Do they come to you with a shoe, a bunch of shoes? Do you kind of get to tweak them here and there? How is that process?
Yeah, I think it's honestly been like probably one of the coolest things I've got to do since, honestly, the process started at the end of my senior year when I was at Iowa, because I was deciding what shoe company I was going to go with. And I talked to Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, and they all offered me a signature shoe, obviously some faster than others. And, you know, everybody knows Nike makes the best product. It just kind of takes a little bit longer. And so I grew up wanting to be a Nike athlete. Every kid does. Nike, Jordan, like that's the premier brand, and everybody knows that.
Caitlin explains why it felt personal. The people in it are real parts of her journey, not random faces. Therefore, the ad feels less like a promo and more like a message. But the bigger point is what she says about the rollout. Caitlin explains the campaign is the start of a longer build that leads into her signature shoe. Fans want a date, but she does not lock in a day. She does make one thing clear though. This is a full runway, and she says the plan is for the shoe to eventually drop after this year-long launch.
It's probably been like a year and a half now of like figuring out what exactly I want. And I think probably the most challenging part of it is like you want it to be unique, but at the same time, like I have to be comfortable wearing it. So I think we kind of like, you kind of take what you know you're comfortable in. Like obviously I play in a lot of Kobe's, but at the same time, I don't want it to be a Kobe. I want it to be something very unique to me and a little bit different. And I think for myself, like, you know, I kind of think about like what's kind of been important to me when I think about like shoes or sneakers. And I think like just the chaseability of them and like.
She also hints at the part fans care about most, wearing it on the court. She talks about getting people excited with the logo first, and with merch already out. Even the Kelce brothers are wearing it, which makes the moment feel real. Therefore, this is not a rumor anymore. It is a rollout.
But more so, I think I'm more excited about like making the certain colorways or collabing with certain brands or whatever it is. I know I definitely got a Chiefs colorway on the way, or PE or something. Maybe we can get Andy Reid to like coach in them at some point or something.
Are you kidding me?
Or we can turn him into a cleat, or we get something like that.
Oh, listen, you're speaking to me now. I'm game.
Then the tone shifts to the part she could have avoided: injuries. Caitlin says it was not one setback, it was a cycle. You rehab, you return, something else pops up, and suddenly you are behind again. She admits it was draining, because when you cannot run for a while, it feels like you have to learn your body all over again.
To get back out there, it had been a minute, so like it was just obviously a long and like tough year of reoccurring injuries, and like you guys know how that goes. Like when you get one nagging thing, it kind of leads to another. So it wasn't obviously how I envisioned it, and it stunk, but like we still kind of found a way. Like our team, like we had like 6 of our players go down with injuries. It was unreal, and we still had a great year. Made it to the semifinals, and yeah, we were like a game away from the finals, and so that was pretty impressive considering kind of what we went through. But it was a long process to like just get back on the court, because when you have like the groins and the, you know, quads and whatever you're dealing with, it's like you don't run for a while. So like it's weird like learning to run again in a way.
But she does not use it as an excuse. She frames it like a test of patience. You still have to show up. You still have to stay locked in. You still have to love the grind, even when your body is not doing what you want.
And then on top of that, like going to like play versus the best players again, and like just getting tossed out back into the fire. But it was fun. Like, I mean, I probably wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Like you get thrown back out there with the best players in the world, and you see like you're right where you were before you got hurt. And it was only 3 days, so it was cool. And it was at Duke, which is obviously one of the most historic basketball places ever. So that was a pretty cool thing too.
She also points out the Fever dealt with injuries too, and they still found ways to compete. Therefore, the year did not go how she pictured it, but it sharpened her mentally. And right when you expect the conversation to stay safe, Team USA comes up. Caitlin explains she went to camp, and it was fun, but intense. She basically got thrown back out there with the best players while she was still building back her legs. She even mentions being at Duke, which makes it feel like a serious basketball moment, not just a photo op. Then she lays out her timeline in a calm way. World Cup in 2026, Olympics in 2028, no begging, no drama, just focus. Therefore, it sounds like a plan, not a hope. But Caitlin also shows the human side of it. They joke about jersey numbers, and she explains she got number 17 as a newcomer. It is not some perfect story. It is just what you get when you are the new person in the room. She also mentions international rules can limit number choices, so you learn to take what you are given and move on. After that, they shift to something lighter, dunking. Caitlin is honest. A lot of dunking is genetics and timing, but she flips it into a real lesson. Shooting can be learned if your form is built early. And this is where she shares a detail that explains a lot about her game. She talks about how her dad would not let her launch deep shots with bad mechanics. She hated it at the time, but he kept forcing the basics. Therefore, the range you see now is not just talent. It is years of doing it the right way. But the centerpiece of the interview is still the shoe. When they circle back, Caitlin confirms it was not only Nike calling. Other big brands came to the table with offers, including the promise of a signature shoe. Some paths would have been faster, some would have been easier. But she chose Nike anyway, and her reason is simple. She believes Nike makes the best basketball shoe, and she wants the best product, not the fastest headline. Therefore, she was willing to wait, even if fans got impatient. Then, she adds the identity piece. Caitlin says she plays in certain Kobe models, but she does not want her shoe to feel like a copy of someone else. She wants it to feel like her, but still perform at the highest level. Because a signature shoe is not just a logo. It has to work when you are sprinting, stopping, cutting, and landing for 40 minutes. And now, we get the biggest tease. Caitlin says comfort has been a huge part of the process, because she knows exactly what she needs on court. She even says she needs that technology everywhere, not just in one small part of the shoe. But the wild part is what she teases next. The technology going into her shoe is something Nike has never put into a basketball shoe before. She will not say what it is yet, but she explains why that detail matters. Some fans do not just buy shoes, they study them. She brings up how people will cut shoes open just to see what is inside. Therefore, she knows the hoop world is going to obsess over this thing the second it drops. So what did Caitlin really do on the Kelce podcast? She set expectations. She told fans the shoe is coming, but it is being built the right way. She admitted the injury year was rough, but it strengthened her. And she made it clear Team USA is part of her future with a real timeline. But the biggest change is the vibe. Caitlin sounds more certain. Therefore, this next chapter is not about proving she belongs. It is about building something that lasts. If you are still watching, comment New Heights. Because the moment that shoe finally hits the court, the league is going to react.
So Kelce Mitchell was either the Fever's best or second best player last season, and she's tweeted something very cryptic that a lot of people are taking as she's done with the Fever. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. I think the odds of Kelce Mitchell staying with the Fever are in the 80 to 90% range.
Kelce Mitchell just posted 3 words that can blow up an entire franchise. Eyes open, mouth closed. And within minutes, Fever fans were doing the off-season thing, connecting dots, refreshing timelines, and asking the scariest question: is she leaving Indiana?
Looked like Kelce Mitchell was forced to respond after a cryptic tweet is pretty much making headlines, but this time it's involving some social media drama. Now, if you guys don't know, Kelce Mitchell really don't be on social media like that. She don't tweet. I don't believe she got a podcast. She kind of just stay out the way and play basketball. It's very similar to Caitlin Clark. Now, many people were saying a tweet that she put out is sparking rumors in regards to her future in Indiana.
But here's what matters. Caitlin Clark saw it too, and her reaction didn't look like panic. It looked like certainty. Because when Kelce dropped that cryptic message, Caitlin jumped into the comments and backed her teammate in public. She wrote, "Let's go kill Kelce," as in, kill it. That's not a goodbye, that's go dominate.
On Tuesday, Mitchell shared several photos of herself in the New Jersey as she teased her upcoming appearance. Eyes open, mouth closed, Mitchell wrote in the caption of her post. Clark showed support for Mitchell by commenting on the post. She wrote, "Let's go Kelce."
So what is Kelce Mitchell really doing? And why does Caitlin's reaction tell you more than the post ever did? Kelce's post was classic Mitchell, vague, stylish, and just mysterious enough to set the whole league on fire. Fans read, "Eyes open, mouth closed," like a warning, like she'd seen something behind the scenes, like a trade request was coming next. And the timing is what made it feel so serious.
All right. The GOAT, CC Caitlin Clark, had some things to say. Obviously, we saw the cryptic message Kelce Mitchell put out there. Kelce, you gotta stop doing the cryptic messages, bro. You know it's gonna stir the pot, girl. Come on now, Kelce. I don't believe Kelce is going anywhere. She is gonna be an Indiana Fever.
Mitchell teased her next appearance with a New Jersey reference, dropped the caption, and left it there. No explanation. No, can't wait. No, see you soon. Just a message that sounded like, I know something you don't. That's why the rumors hit so hard. And if you're an Indiana fan, the fear makes sense. Mitchell isn't a random piece. She's a core scorer. When the Fever need a bucket in the ugliest moments, Mitchell is the player who can create one. So the idea of her leaving, even for a second, feels like the roof shaking.
Kelce Mitchell has had a season where she carried the Indiana Fever. She literally played. She played until her body. I've never seen a person body give up on them like Kelce Mitchell did, because she played literally till the wheels fell off. Kelce Mitchell has had one of the best individual seasons for an Indiana Fever player since, to me, like, if you include the playoffs and the shit she did in the playoffs, she has had arguably the best individual season a Fever has had since Tamika Catchings, and that includes Caitlin Clark's rookie season.
But then Caitlin reacts, and the temperature changes instantly. If your teammate is actually about to dip, you don't hype them up publicly. You either stay quiet, or you keep it soft. Caitlin didn't do that. She went straight to confidence. That's why her comment matters. And that's where the real story starts. Because new team didn't mean what everyone assumed. Kelce Mitchell isn't announcing a WNBA departure. She's not joining a rival franchise. She's joining a new team in Unrivaled, the 3-on-3 off-season league that's quickly becoming a major talking point in women's basketball. That's the twist. The post was real, the move was real, but the panic was aimed at the wrong target. Instead of Mitchell leaving Indiana, it's Mitchell adding reps. According to the announcement details, Mitchell is set to suit up for Hive BC, one of the new clubs in the next unrivaled season. The roster around her is built for this format, players who can run, space, and make fast reads when there's nowhere to hide. The coaching piece is telling too. Hive BC is set to be coached by Chicago Sky assistant Reina Wakama, which signals this isn't a casual run. It's organized, structured, and competitive. Unrivaled's next season is set to begin January 5th. That matters because players are locking in their off-season plans early, and they're choosing competition over comfort. So when Caitlin reacts the way she did, she's not reacting to Kelce leaving. She's reacting to Kelce choosing work. Therefore, if you're Indiana, you should actually like this. 3-on-3 is brutal. Every possession forces quicker decisions, more spacing, and more shot creation. Mitchell's game fits that, and those reps can carry over when the WNBA season returns. And it gets even more interesting when you zoom out, because Mitchell isn't going alone. Multiple Fever players are also jumping into Unrivaled. That gives Mitchell familiar faces and built-in chemistry, but it also signals something bigger. Indiana's core is staying connected in the offseason. That's not what a split looks like. That's what a group looks like when they're trying to level up. Now, here's the part fans keep missing. Caitlin Clark is not joining Unrivaled. And that's where the story could have gone sideways, but it didn't, because Caitlin still supported Kelce anyway. According to what's been said around this, Clark did not join after dealing with multiple injuries and playing in just 13 games in 2025. There was speculation she could join later, but for now, she's staying out of it. That context makes her comment louder. If Caitlin isn't playing, she gains nothing by hyping Unrivaled for herself. She's not promoting her own highlights. She's backing her teammate, period. But this is the WNBA, and nothing stays simple for long. While Unrivaled is being sold as a big opportunity, there's also a growing debate around the players' union and potential conflicts of interest, because some leaders connected to the Players Association are also connected to Unrivaled's leadership. Some people see that and worry about negotiations, priorities, and optics. That doesn't prove wrongdoing, but it explains why fans are jumpy and why one cryptic caption can feel like a warning siren. There was even talk tied to allegations about a private conversation involving Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and union leadership, with claims about how much value certain stars bring and what they should be grateful for. Whether you believe it or not, it shows you the temperature of the room. Everything gets interpreted as politics. So Kelce posts, eyes open, mouth closed, and people assume it's a Fever breakup. But Caitlin's reaction pulls it back to what it actually is. Basketball. It's work, it's reps, it's the off-season grind. Because if Kelce was truly leaving Indiana, Caitlin's comment would read different. It would feel careful. It would feel like the end of something. Instead, it felt like the start of something. It felt like, go get better, because we're coming back next season with a point to prove. So here's the takeaway. Kelce Mitchell joining a new team isn't the Fever falling apart. It's the Fever building tools. And Caitlin Clark's real reaction wasn't panic. It was confidence. Now the question is simple. Does Unrivaled make the Fever stronger? Or does the off-season drama become a distraction? If you're still watching, comment Kelce to Hive, so I know you made it to the end.
I saw the news that the WNBA players had authorized a strike when necessary. So just to get you guys up to speed there, 93% of the players participated in the vote. So 93% of players in the WNBA. And how many is that? Could we do the math? I believe that there's 166 WNBA players times 0.93. Is that right? So 154 players voted and 3 players. So only 3 players voted no to the authorization of a strike, which means the rest of the players said, if things start getting crazy, go ahead, you guys. You guys can call a strike and we'll just see where things go.
That's not a random poll. That's the WNBA Players Association vote to authorize a strike.
They call me Logo Reese. Dang it. It's okay. I still go hard in the paint. Wide open, lady. Rebound. Y'all gonna pay us like y'all owe us. Y'all owe me 50 million. Oh, shit. 40. Uh-oh, rebound. I take 10 million. Thanks. I want that Kyrie money because I got Kyrie handles. The fuck? She holla. I heard y'all talking about going on strike if y'all don't get more money. I mean, yeah, if they don't pay us, we sitting. What was the WNBA profit last year? 0? Exactly. Come on, girl. He ain't worth it. But that has nothing to do with it. How dare you? Hey, chill. Hey. It's just rude. Y'all only play 40 games. Grow up. Come here. Unbelievable. Unacceptable. I'm gonna call the league on you. What's up, Caitlin? You do know that if we were to sit out, you won't be reffing any games, so you'll be basically unemployed. I don't give a fuck. You feel good about yourself? Hey, I tell you what, you're the only one that could demand higher pay. But we want equal pay. But do you got equal profit? I'm gonna get you fired.
Meaning the players just gave themselves permission to shut the league down if negotiations collapse. No games, no playoffs, no momentum, just silence. 98% is also the kind of number that makes you think the league is united. But here's the part nobody can stop staring at. 3 players voted no. 3.
That's why this year's CBA is so very important. But I do wonder, with these 3 players that voted against the strike, if I were to guess, I would say that these 3 players were probably players who aren't big time players. Because if a strike or a lockout happens, it's going to hurt those middle tier and lower tier players more than it's going to hurt any of the stars. And any of the players who already have deals to play in Unrivaled, already have deals to play in Project B.
And it's not just the no votes. Some players reportedly didn't vote at all. That matters, because when you're about to threaten a shutdown, every missing vote is a crack in the wall. So now the internet is asking the question that changes everything. Was Caitlin Clark one of them? I can't confirm who voted what. The vote is private. But the reason people think it could be her is the real story.
And it looked like Caitlin Clark is in some serious hot water with WNBA players over this alleged not voting for this strike. Now, we've been thoroughly tracking this whole situation with WNBA owners and the CBA negotiation. News has been coming out every single day for the last 72 hours depicting a strike and a lockout is coming near the future. Now, they had 48 hours still to come up with a decision. I believe today could be the day where we find out what ultimately is going to happen. But there was growing concerns about Caitlin Clark being the person that held out on the lockout.
Because while the league is talking about pulling the plug, Caitlin Clark is basically the only person on record saying, maybe we should not kill the season. Rewind to Team USA camp. Caitlin gets asked about what players want, and she says it plain. Yes, we need to fight for things we want, but ultimately we need to compromise. We need to compromise, and we need to play basketball. Compromise. Play basketball. Now, smash cut to the strike vote.
And many people believe one of the 3 players that said no was Caitlin Clark, due to what Caitlin Clark said when she got interviewed at Team USA camp, where she said, yes, we need to fight for things we want, but ultimately, we need to compromise. We need to compromise, and we need to play basketball. That is what Caitlin Clark said. We need to play in some damn games, and we need the 2026 WNBA season to happen. That is what the fans want. That is what the people want. And that is how we make the money. We need to be playing basketball.
98% say we're ready to stop playing. Now let's be clear. Strike authorization is not the same as a strike. Not yet. It's the button under the glass. And once you point at that button, you don't just scare owners, you scare fans. Here's the twist that makes this whole story feel unreal. While this labor fight is happening, Caitlin's name is still moving product in what should be the quietest part of the year. An $85 Caitlin Clark card box, sold out at Target. Mainstream sports guys debating whether to even open the box, because a sealed box might end up worth more. Think about that. A WNBA product being treated like an investment. And the way this was packaged wasn't normal either. The collection is loaded with Caitlin content. tons of Clark cards, lifestyle shots, autographs, rare inserts. Basically, the superstar treatment you usually only see when a sport has a clear engine driving attention. During the off-season. So while players are threatening to cancel a season, the loudest mainstream buzz is still, Caitlin Clark sold out again. And that's where the strike conversation gets uncomfortable, because it exposes a truth the league is scared of. Momentum is fragile, and right now, the momentum has a face. Even players are saying the quiet part out loud. One player basically said, if you argue the WNBA would be where it is right now without Caitlin Clark, you're not paying attention. That's not a fan. That's a player. Now let's get specific, because the numbers are where this turns dangerous. According to the reporting around these talks, the league has floated major changes. Big salary jumps. Max salaries potentially going from around $250,000 to over $1.3 million. Average salaries potentially from around $120,000 to over $500,000. Minimum salaries potentially from around $66,000 to over $250,000 in year one. That is a massive move. But the union wants more. A bigger cut of revenue, bigger shares, stronger guarantees. And now it turns into a street fight. Because the owner's side reportedly said the union's public characterization of the proposal is dishonest. Owners calling players dishonest. Players threatening a strike. While the league is finally trending. That's not business as usual. That's a pressure cooker. And when a league is in a pressure cooker, you get two kinds of people. You get people who want to blow the lid off. And you get people who quietly think if we blow the lid off right now, we might never get it back on. That second type is why everyone keeps circling Caitlin Clark. Not because anyone has proof she voted no, but because her public message is the opposite of a shutdown. Her message is compromise. Her message is play. And she understands leverage differently. Leverage isn't just votes. Leverage is attention. Leverage is who drives viewership. Leverage is who sells out products in December. Leverage is who keeps casual fans coming back. Because casual fans don't stick around during labor wars. They leave. And many never come back. That's not theory. That's history. Strikes in other leagues didn't just pause seasons. They broke habits. And the WNBA cannot afford to break the habit right now. It just got the habit. So here's the question no one wants to ask out loud. Does the union actually have more leverage than the owners? Because owners can wait. Many are billionaires. Many also own NBA teams. Many have funded this league through the years. Players can't wait the same way. This is their window. This is the first time the league has felt like it's about to go mainstream. Therefore, the strike threat is nuclear. But nuclear only works if the other side is terrified to lose what you're threatening. And the one thing the league cannot afford to lose is momentum. Now back to the 3 no votes. Even if Caitlin wasn't one of them, the reason people believe she could be is simple. She already said the thing everyone else refuses to say. Compromise. Play basketball. Keep the machine running. Because if the machine stops, the next TV deal doesn't get stronger. Sponsors don't increase spend. New fans don't deepen their loyalty. And the union could win a negotiation while losing the audience. The next big date being talked about is January 9th. Less than 3 weeks can decide the next 3 years. That date isn't just a calendar item, it's a test. A test of whether the WNBA values its future more than its pride. So here's what I'm watching. If the strike headline stays alive, fans hear uncertainty. If the owners keep calling the union dishonest, fans hear war. And if Caitlin stays silent, people keep projecting their own story onto her. Which means the tension is not going down, it's going up. One side is going to blink, and when they do, we'll find out who actually understood what was at stake. If you're still watching, drop Jan 9 in the comments.